The builds are so hectic right now. One time I'm putting Guelph's engine back on the car, the other day I'm taking the Corrado engine out. Done! The engine is off. And I said days, but I actually mean weeks. Everything takes so much time. There's not much room for planning. Because when you look at the thing for the first time and everything is so rusty, you'll try to figure out what you need to order, and you don't get the right parts always. So again, days go by. I'm at that point when there's always something to do and nothing seems to progress. And then I mess things up, which will delay everything even more. But that's the project car life, I guess. At least one I'm living. And I'm doing 2 complete restorations at the same time. So how did I get to this point? As I said, I can't predict my days. I have a hell of a list to do, and I'm just doing what I can every day. So I thought that I could tell you about myself a little bit in this vlog, and while doing that, I'm showing you the days I spend in the garage. So the first thing about me, I drink milk with coffee, not coffee with milk. So my first car-related memory is with the Knight Rider kit. That Trans Am may be the only US car I will ever own, just because of these memories. We had in the family Toyota Celica, 92 year, and it was with the pop-up headlights, black, and for a kid's eye it reminded of Kit a bit. I have 2 younger sisters, so with a family of 5 we had a 2-door sports coupe. And we did longer trips with that car, so my one younger sister was on the other side, me on the other side, and the youngest one was with the car seat that were so big at that time in the middle. So there were times were different then, and but since then no one will tell me that 2-door coupes aren't family cars. Other than that, my parents nor my step-parents haven't been into cars. The next memory, and this is maybe a bit embarrassing, is when I fell in love with Porsches. So the Twilight Saga New Moon second one had the 911 Turbo Porsche yellow in there, and well, it was a love at first sight for me. Not necessarily that particular car, but in Porsche general, when I discovered what models do they have, and the brand itself is a whole package for me. And I have a few of those in my vision board as well, of course. We are now in the paint booth and we are going to paint a whole lot of things from Corrado, from Guelph, from Escort, from I don't know. Everything goes black. The same thing I used on the Golf axle stuff, no walls, polycoat, some kind of paint, easy to use, good thing. But as I said, those were the first hints of me liking car stuff. But in reality, life brought me people who were correlated in some way or another. So over the years, I have seen things closely, whether it's a mechanical point of view, driving stuff, driving on ice tracks, competing, participated in different events, Volkswagen, Audi Club meets, old school meets, you name it. So that's where the Volkswagen thing kicked in. And it basically started with Volkswagen. That started. The VR6 thing started with the Golf Mark III. And when I heard it, it was love at first sight. let's go send some stuff. If we look at my car history, then my first own car was Volkswagen Bora 2.3 VR5. The low roar was very appealing, even more so than VR6. But VR6 compensates with driving rally noises. I took my Bora even to an ice track. So about ice tracks, I love them, and I'm good at them, with the front wheel drive at least. Every competition I have participated in, whether with previous practice or not, I've won. Only one second place I have. I had, let's say, in my bucket list, a wish to get to know how to drive all drivetrains. The front wheel drive was piece of cake. With all-wheel drive, I've had my history. The only problem is that it gets fast quickly and I get scared. But with moderate speed, it's handleable. Most complicated was rear-wheel drive. It was the end of 2020 when I got to drive a friend's, I think it was Lada or Shiguli, on ice track. So after successful rounds, he told me that now I can drive all the drivetrains. So it was an instant click of I did it. While I'm prepping the engine for paint, I of course had to have an accident. Why me? But I found something that was hidden under everything. Well, this can't be right. You can't believe it. I can't believe it. I searched for that and it's a detonation sensor. If this is the cause of all my problems, I don't know if I should be happy about it or damn pissed off. Luckily, I will never know because I've done so much to this engine, but this seems like one of the troublemakers. Yeah. But here's a smart trick for you. I saw it on Reels. Be sure to use rubber hammer and well, works better with sharp edges. I cleaned the engine as much as I could by hand and did multiple evaporust washes. At some point I had enough and flipped the engine paint on. I had the information that the original VR6 should be like this: black engine block and silver cylinder head. I have here the Corrado alternator and I got it taken apart so I could paint the cover of this. Yeah, so let's watch how I do it and I will talk about how I got my Corrado. Really, how do I put it? Like a story full of like unimaginable things I would ever do. But people come, people go, we grow, and I was with my Bora. I was working as out-of-school secretary, and I don't know why I was googling how to bring cars from Germany, I think. And I stumbled on an Estonian Volkswagen forum post. There was a post about Corrado. Someone mentioned that he had multiple ones and has offered one of them to friends. It was about 3 weeks old thread. I did what I never imagined. I wrote to him. The car was driving, good conditioned, in Tallinn, and we are 6. Immediately I started to figure out how I can get it. I had no money set aside. I had worked there almost a year and I knew they gave loans to employees, but there was conditions. One of them was that I had to be worked there at least a year. But I had to ask, so I did another unimaginable thing. So I went to my boss and told him that I want to buy my dream car. Can I get a loan? And I did. No problem. So the next day I was on a bus. No one knew. And on the bus, I didn't have the money on my account yet. So I called the accountant and asked, what is it? And so a few moments later, I got the money in my account. It was halfway through Tallinn. So I got off the bus and I heard it, then I saw it, and I was sold. It was my second time ever seeing a Corrado. The first one was a purple one. It was in a bad condition, didn't drive. I just saw that. So the first image, the first hearing, the first experience, and I'm not even in it, and I'm already completely fallen in love. Anyway, the car pulled up. I opened the door and told him, sold, I want it. He was like, wait, let's go a drive first. And we did. But then I drove it home. So that was the story of how I got my Corrado. The trouble started right about when I got to drive home. But they weren't actually problems. The coolant temp was getting a bit too high. But then I learned the next day, I stayed overnight just in case. But I learned from the previous owner that the coolant temp is naturally a bit higher with this car. And yeah, maybe the indicator was lying a bit, I don't know, but all was well actually. And so I got home the next day. So there I was alone with my Corrado VR6 and my Pora VR5. So you see why I have a thing with the VR engines and I can't get enough of them. Sometime later I sold my Bora and replaced it with a new Daily. For the next 5 years it was Audi TT 2012. Perfect Daily for me, absolutely perfect. 2-liter TDI engine, manual, quattro, white, beautiful snowball, as I called it. I took the fuel injectors to ultrasonic cleaning and he sent me cool videos of the process. Changed the O-rings and then the first video was the inner cleaning, then some other program cleaning, then low speed test at 3500 RPMs. Next was 5000 RPMs and then there was also one with 7002. And lastly, there was a leaking test. And that's what I call customer service. So fellow Estonians, if you want to have the same service, then Espresso at Tartu, truly one of the nicest services I've had. I got the fuel injectors, I put them in place, no particular order, just put them in and cleaned the rail. Then I saw how dirty all these connectors were and I didn't like it. So I got a cleaner and a plastic like shiny thing. So now it already seems more like more cleaner, literally. But then I discovered that I would like to get rid of the old, like this tape, and I found that we have this like snake kind of thing, and I'm using it. So already all of this looks so much better. I think let's do a break from this and let's go and see the Corrado. So this is where I'm at with the Corrado. Corrado pumper, the exhaust, and this one. There are places that aren't very good. I don't like them, but let's be honest, I have had a few nights to think about it, and one day I think that I won't do it, the other day I will think that okay, I'm gonna do some of it, then I'm like no, I'm not gonna do it, there's no point, and today I'm gonna do everything, and it's this place. So first of all, I wanted to just replace this thing over here, but then I saw the rest of it and was like, what's the point? Then I was told to get this whole thing changed. Just cut holes in here, they don't have to be like this, like bent, and it would be much better. And then I would reach to here too. These are the bumper holders. Same goes here. This is even worse. So I think, as much as I wouldn't want to do it, and this will set me back for some time in my schedule, then I think I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, but overall, not too bad. I am a little concerned about this sill rockers, these end bits, because 3 of them are replaced. The first time around I got it done. They are bent in a bit. I mean, you can see it from like there on the side, but I don't know. Another thing that would set me back quite some time if I do it myself. But I think I just have to cut those in, out, whatever, and see from there. Or otherwise it will haunt me. Overall, not too bad. The plan is to get rid of the rust. We have a new tool. It's called the woodpecker in Estonian nickname. Yeah. I will show you. Okay, let's start somewhere. So I think firstly let's try the woodpecker thingy. It's a new tool in this garage. It has like these needles, and they go like pew 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 pew, and take away the rust. Let's try it. Quite a heavy thing. Whoa. Insane noise. Okay. This gonna be hurtful to my hands. Yep. This will shake me through pretty bad. Okay, let's try another place. Where would be good? Let's go here. Okay, not a bad tool. Oh my god, it's pretty hard on you. I'm shaking like a leaf. Uh-oh, holes. Another thing I have to weld. Okay, they sell those smaller ones too. My first opinion, well, you can get to the hard parts that with this cutter you can't. It leaves a pretty rough surface, and it can do dents as well. But hard places like the structural places, not bad. Not bad. Very hard on your hands. I think the expensive ones had like some kind of amortization that would soften the hit to you. But we want to try, so not the most expensive thing. I don't know, I will do it. Well, I will use it. Yay. Hole. My car isn't rusty part 113. So I had the snowball about 5 years. I did the stage 1 with it, so it got lost a lot faster. But it was the most servicing car for me, utmost perfect, daily, all year round car for me. And the next one will be also GT, only the Mark III. So there you have it. I've only owned 3 cars since I got my driving license 13 years back. As you can imagine, I don't like to buy and sell stuff. Mostly don't like to sell. So sometimes people come and give me good advice. And today's advice was that this thing that went to here, and this, and this, these are from the factory to probably be on the factory line, to move the cars around, the bodies around. So I don't need them. So I may as well get rid of them. So these will gather some bad stuff which will turn into rust. So basically I need to do that part to 2 holes, and that's about it. I don't need any more. Same goes with that. Delete this, put a new patch in, and of course put the towing thing back on, and 2 holes. This made my life 0.0001% easier, but still every percent counts. But with the Corrado, there was always one intention, and it was to rebuild it myself, which I did within 1 year, but that's a story for another video. But how did I get here with 2 restoration projects? Well, I worked as an e-course developer in retail, and while I was doing that, I learned to become a coach. I finished that, and then I thought that I will switch my career, and yeah, it is truly my passion, and I did that. And then Audi was a burden, a financial burden, so I sold that, sadly, but that left me with my Corrado, which would become my daily. Not a bad trade. So I didn't really tell you how I got here. I was a coach, working coach, and while I was doing that, I basically coached myself out of it because I really wanted to be in the garage, do some build, and I knew that Corrado wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for Corrado at that time, and but I wanted to be in the garage. So I made this happen. I asked my friend, whose garage I'm in, workshop, and that he has so many projects waiting, mostly US ones, but then there was this Golf Mark III. And since Corrado is very similar to that, I told him that, let me build that. and he wasn't against it. So I did. And that's why I started to build the Golf. Of course, it was supposed to be like within the 1 year project, but well, as you have seen, I have learned so much to do myself, and it takes time. So here we are, not the ideal outcome of things with 2 unfinished projects, but I will finish them. And as I said, I will do it, but there's a reason why I have my deadline to finish these both before the summer, and it's that I want to take a break with these kind of huge projects. And I want to be back in the coaching business more. But don't you worry, I'm always gonna be in the car scene. I am going to continue to do the videos, just like not the complete restoration one soon enough, I think. But there's plenty to whip up to be driven. There's plenty of cool cars I can show you and talk about you, like Bricklin was. And yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna worry about too much. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I will be here, but I will be places where people can thrive also, and I can be a part of it. And yeah, it's hard when you have 2 or multiple passions. But we have a whole lot of videos coming because I need to finish that, and I need to finish the Golf 2. Which needs a lot of work still. The engine is on, as you can see, nice and shiny. We painted some parts which are going back on the car. And then I'm gonna put on the side the donor Golf, which has the AC system, so we can swap things from there or look where some things go. It's easier when you have some reference with a car on the side. Yeah, and then the bodywork and painting the other stuff like doors, fenders, bumpers, so on. Then we have here a whole lot of Corrado stuff, which are waiting to be sanded. I'm inviting my sister to help because she wants to become or learn to be a car painter, she thinks, and I thought that I could give her a little taste of this garage life. So yeah, and yeah, a lot to do. So as I said, don't you worry, the videos are coming. It is just me, so they will take time, unfortunately. I'll try to do my best. So Corrado is covered up. I don't like that job. And let's go. The bitumen is coming, but let's do something with the grill at the time. Like put the engine back where it's supposed to be. Guys, you can let me know if you want to see something else, something simpler. I'm putting pretty much effort on these videos. Yeah, not the quality wise, I know, but like the storyline, I always try to like keep that complete. So if there's anything, any ideas, what would you like to see, let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. The community we have here, you guys are awesome. I would never believed that I could have that kind of nice people around me in this way. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.